don't know her.
I don't know.
Maybe I should.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, are you?
I have lost hours, like 5 times in the last.
So now you're gonna record her yelling at me?
Yep. Perfect. I tried to do it as long as I could.
Our neighbors have one. I never heard of it before moving here.
Start.
I'm gonna use it for it.
That's far enough.
I think it's just not fun. My mother-in-law said,
Oh, I see.
sure.
This is mighty suspicious.
Children can't see anything now, so we are in a hurricane.
And then when the first he's been in the hospital.
No, this year. So no, I mean, we've been for almost 6 years, but before moving here, I never was like planning.
All right, well.
We've lost so many times, just 20 blocks around it.
Yeah.
Where is,
Yeah.
So,
I think I have to do it every day.
well, I don't
understand it.
what's best.
And so we started looking into it. I didn't feel to do it,
But I just want to explain what we're doing. Are you taking that same?
No, I carry a bucket, 5-gallon bucket down there, I take a sprinkler, I walk around, and then,
expensive one.
like,
But I don't know.
You don't use the hose?
I don't use some of that.
Okay.
This is actually this, yeah.
Third one.
Oh, look at all that I took out. Look at all the roots. Coming back nice. Coming back with
Make sure we make that second payment.
Well, a little spade, and you just dig and loosen it up. And
It's
pull 'em
private,
out.
it's through,
But
I know, but
some are
yeah.
deep.
energy services, which sounds
I think
like
some
the
haven't
public,
shown
it's
up because
not.
they're so deep
We
that
use
they're
them
gonna
to,
take a while to come
put in our mini splits.
I mean,
Did you notice that,
They were great, and they were.
was it children's services?
I saw this on.
Yeah, he wrote us that, he said, so David lives up, a little bit from the 41st. You know, it's just, well, I've done that, I've been on the street.
I'm thinking of buying a whole bunch of American flags on
I know.
stick them
It
around.
always is a little circle. It's when it's the hottest day of the year, your family doesn't.
I mean, I don't, I really, I think, I think we need to, yeah, okay. The water thing, it's just, we want, everything was.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to, I want to call him Mark, but that's not his name.
Tip.
Yeah, and I've used his
I'll send it out to the group and say, let's put together a schedule right now. Like, so Kip come in Thursday.
That helps.
So that's a shame. I'll do it again tonight.
Yeah?
Well,
I did it last night because
we have big windows facing east,
Well, I'm happy to do
so
that.
that's what
Like
he's
I said,
You seem like you were there.
I'm gonna buy this because it sounds fun.
Yeah.
But it will, there'll be a bucket in the middle of the thing, but I'm gonna hide it.
Yeah.
And that's there.
And then you run the lines down.
So yeah, and then it's like a drip system,
Yeah.
and then the little solar thing like pumps it up. And so all I have to do is fill the bucket.
Some on the street have fallen. Except that ours did.
Okay. Whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever.
This is our smallest crowd ever.
And so she started looking into it.
And I do want to stay on time.
I'm a look where it is.
Well, I don't know where.
Yeah. Yes, it's.
You got it.
Thank you. What size are you, Barbara? Sure.
Berries for
Well, hi, everybody. This is our smallest group ever. But that's okay, if people want to move on.
Small and mighty.
Yeah, small and mighty is good. Hi. It is a little bit of a quiet night. There's not something momentous we're doing, but I think we might as well go ahead and get going. I'm sort of punctual about us getting started, so.
I went too fast.
You went too fast. Okay. Well, that's the first
Okay,
thing.
there you go.
And our treasurer can't be here tonight because of a family issue, so we're gonna just jump right into the emergency hub, because you're next on.
Hi, everyone. I'm Margie Carter.
I'm Katrina Russell.
And we are volunteers with the Neighborhood Emergency Communication Hub. So we try to get to these meetings and give you a little activity to do to see how well you're prepared. So we'll do that. Maybe you want to give a quick overview of.
Sure. So does everybody know what the Seattle emergency hubs are? For those of you, see if you heads shaking. So I'll say, first of all, I'm relatively new at this. I've only been doing it a little over a year, but I've had a great group of people who have been teaching me all about it, and I'm excited to be part of it. These are volunteer groups in over 100 neighborhoods around Seattle that come together and prepare to step up in the event of an emergency. And it's really to match resources to needs and to share information, get information about what's going on, and then disseminate that out to people, as well as kind of support each other and develop resilience so that we can get through whatever that disaster is. So let me start by asking, who knows where our Madison Park hub box is?
Hey, all right.
Yay! Oh, good. Who wants to tell everybody else where it is? Becky! It is in the park. It is right by the tennis court. So there's a big, tall electrical box, and then the big box next to that is our emergency hub box. And that's got all the supplies so that in the event that we need to come and set this hub up, we have various stations, and we'll have them labeled so that you'll know where you can go to get what information.
But you're only going to get information. There's no food there, no water, nothing like that. So it's really a place to, the real full name of these groups are Emergency Communications Hub. So it's very low tech, except if we can recruit from the neighborhood a ham radio operator, that's really handy because they can tie in. Anybody want to volunteer to get your license for ham radio? That'd be good.
Of course, by the word that we need it.
Yeah, so if you have a neighbor or even a teenager, scouts can get badges for ham radio. We're also using GMRS radios. So we practice on Monday nights connecting with the other hubs around the city. But tonight we want to just take a few minutes. I don't know if when you signed in, you saw these little half sheets.
You want me to hand out?
Yeah, that'd be great. That give you an idea of when there is a serious emergency, like a big earthquake that shuts down communications, and you are not with your family or you're away from home or you are desperate to check in on people, do you know the best way to do that?
Yeah, contact Octavia. She knows
Okay.
everything.
The question is, how will you contact Octavia?
She's all seeing.
Here's what we've learned is that cell phones are really going to try to be dedicated for the big emergencies that the city is going to operate. And they may or may not work. Landlines probably won't work. But what we have learned is in the early periods before the cell towers get totally taken over by emergency management, you can often get a text out even if you can't get a phone in. So you cannot get a text across town. You can only get a text that will land out of the area. So east of Spokane is what they're suggesting. So Katrina's just passed around 2 sheets. One's a little half sheet that kind of gives you an overview of the importance of having an out of, what are they calling it? There's a great little out of area contact, an OOAC. So this is your emergency contact person. So right now, think for a minute, who do you know that is anywhere east, and it can be southeast or south Midwest, that is somebody that you could rely on, who you could quickly get a text or an email to, and they become your person who is going to set up a relay system, maybe back to your dog watcher in Seattle or your family member across town that you are desperate to be in touch with because you can't get locally in touch with them. So what we want you to do is take that second big long sheet and just put your head together with somebody sitting fairly close to where you are. And think this through for yourself if you don't already have this in place. Who do I know that would be reliable? They don't travel all the time. They don't have minimal tech skills. They would be willing to, in fact, be this relay person to you. So your first task will be, who can this be? Who can I think of? And who can I call and say, would you be willing to be our out-of-area contact person? And then here's the list of people and their contact information I want you to relay my messages to immediately. We're okay, we're fine, we're heading to, you know, Phoenix because we don't know what to do here, or whatever your message is. You try both email and text. You're not sure what's going to get through immediately. And you send the people you want them to contact that same contact information. When I did that with my sister-in-law, she was savvy enough that she quickly set up her own quick little distribution list so she can just right away contact. So put your heads together for just 3 minutes. Get your initial person. Who will that be? This is a little worksheet to practice with for a few minutes. If you're not sure, if you're trying to think of, I don't know, the person next to you can help. So if you're not sitting immediately next to someone, it's a great chance to problem solve together or to help each other think through the issue.
Coming in late.
So take a minute, because if not now, when would you start this process?
When there's an earthquake.
Yeah, right. So, and it needs to be updated sometimes. But take a minute to just jot some things down if you need some help thinking about who it would be.
So when you say east of Spokane, you're talking east, like the country, like I can go to Colorado?
Absolutely. You can go across, you can go to the East Coast, New York, Boston, South Carolina. You've got to get out of the region because they don't expect in the region we would be able to get through.
So I just came back from visiting my youngest son in Florida, and of course, told that he is my out-of-area contact.
Yeah.
And I have another son that's here in Maple Valley, so he would be relaying to them, and then to my other family members in Florida or other people here. I'm getting them around.
So take a minute, I see some faces scrunched up. We just want you to practice thinking this through, make some notes to yourself. You can use this worksheet to go back with your household if you live with other people and think about other ideas. You may choose someone first that comes to mind, but when you contact them, they're like, no way, I'm not doing that. So you might want plan B. So take just a couple more minutes, and then we'll see if you have any quick questions for us, and we'll head back to your agenda.
You'll be my designated?
We're kind of west of
Hopefully.
With people's phones changing or emails changing.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are y'all gonna store this information, or is this more just for like us to bring to you?
We're not
in your
taking
events?
any of this. This is just
Yeah.
for you.
Right, but if we needed the hub to get these messages out, we could bring this sheet to you and be like, help. And you
Well, you can try. It's a good idea to have it copied on your phone, but we're not sure if we get the right tech people volunteering for our neighborhood. There are some services that some of the higher tech people can help us with calls that are really important for you to get through. At this point, the one person we relied upon that is left the neighborhood. So,
I know my parents are
So,
over in Idaho, so.
If there is an
So,
earthquake,
there we go.
are we gonna be able to text anybody or
and
email?
in the immediate aftermath, they often say we can text but not make calls. But you cannot text somebody in the area. It has to go, that's what they're saying, out of, as far as east of Spokane and beyond.
So you assume email will do?
We don't know. We don't know, but you want to at least have a plan. This is the best that we can come up with. We hope to be able to have an active hub radio set up that will be communicating with the city. We periodically, once a year, do a drill in the park where we practice these things. So come and practice with us.
In August, you'll see us doing a drill to set everything up, walk around, look at it, and take it down. So you're welcome to come.
So you say there's a communication center over here.
All there are chart papers, I have medical needs, I have medical supplies. We have nothing that will be over there in the way of supplies. I have 50 pounds of dog food I'm willing to share. I have whatever. So it's just a low tech, I have this, I'm willing to share, I need this, I've lost my child, whatever. So it's a way to have communication. We will have lower tech GMR radios that some of us have just as volunteers bought. Good idea to have that if you're interested in that. One of our other teammates, Dana, has taken over for me writing articles every month in Madison Park Times. And she's really good with tech stuff, so if you don't already follow that, you might even pop online and get some of those
If
questions.
there's an earthquake, is there any point in my walking over to your community?
Absolutely. If you have looked at your household, everyone's safe, you've looked at the people around you, everyone's safe, you want to offer your services or just help us, or you need something, come over and talk it through. We'll also be having information that's relayed to us from the city. Don't try I-5, it's closed, or blah, blah, blah. This hospital is taking patients, this isn't.
But you do have another, what do you call it, dry run, what do you call it?
A drill?
Drill, yes.
Yeah, although this time we're just gonna have a drill of setting up the stations, and then reviewing them and familiarizing ourselves. We're not actually then gonna have scenarios this time. But there are many of those going on in nearby neighborhoods. If you're interested in going and participating, to help the volunteers learn to practice. So if you're interested in those, we can put you in touch with those. Any other quick questions?
So
Great.
once a month in our newsletter, we also have a "Do you know" that comes
Yeah.
from the emergency hub. So just a
Thank
little
you.
tidbit to keep in mind. Okay, well, this coming weekend is our garden tour. And we've got 14 gardens on the garden tour. We have really been sort of consistently selling tickets, so it's going to be a good turnout. And I think I can say this now, it's supposed to be a beautiful day. I've been afraid to say that out loud, but the weather report looks really good as opposed to last year when 10 o'clock when we started the tour, it started pouring rain. So yeah, and it was still a great event. We do need, and Cecilia, maybe I'll get you to get up and do your pitch. We like to have, in each of the gardens, we like to have 2 docents to be in each garden, and we are running short on that. So do your pitch.
Great, okay, ready at any moment. Hey everybody, I'm Cecilia, the volunteer coordinator. If you have not met me already, good to see you guys. Yes, we are in desperate need of more volunteers for the garden tour. It should be a super fun time. Volunteer shifts are just 2 hours, and then you get a free ticket, wristband map to the rest of the event, so you can also check out the rest of the gardens for free. So if you are interested, come chat with me after the meeting, or you can email me at volunteer@friendsmadisonpark. So that's the main ones, and we have a ton of other places that you can volunteer at. If you want to check out our website, we have all those activities listed there.
Yeah, where do we find out what garden we're assigned to, or?
Yeah, great question. So if you have already signed up with me, you probably just got an email from me in the last hour or so. So we've finally settled. We've managed to cover all the gardens, cover all the bases. So I've already reached out to everybody who's been contacted. If someone hasn't gotten an email, then I will want to chat with them. So yeah, reach out to me, and I'll be happy to coordinate that. Thank you. Yeah, what's up?
Do you need like 8 more volunteers, maybe?
I think about, it would be great if we had about 8 more volunteers.
We
We're
won't
gonna make
turn
it
anyone
work
down.
one way or
So
another.
maybe if we all just grab a friend, we could bring
Yeah,
them
grab a
along
friend.
and we
It's
could
a
volunteer as well.
super fun event.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that would be great. It's only $20 a ticket, and it's really a walkable tour, and it ranges from a gorgeous waterfront, art-filled garden to a few more modest gardens, but it gives you a sense of what you can do with your own backyard. So, yeah, encourage everybody to come. So, what do we have up next? Oh, yeah, okay, the farmer's market. It's coming. The opening day is June 14th, Saturday, June 14th. And Joy Hollingsworth is coming to cut the ribbon. We'll have music and balloons, and we'll have 23 vendors will be there. So produce and cheese and meat and fish and flowers and bread, everything you want in a farmer's market. We also will be selling, Becky, where are the,
Oh.
yeah, on cue.
I was waiting for that cue and then I totally screwed it up. We have merch. So official. We have this beautiful graphic designed by Sarah Cook right here in Madison Park. She does a lot of our work for us. She's done this beautiful garden tour poster as well, which everybody loves a lot. Excuse me, wrist guard here. But yeah, there's two options. There's like kind of a simpler, flatter bag, and then there's this gusseted one that has a flatter bottom, is a little bit more heavy duty. And we will be selling this at the farmer's market. So cute, right? I think we got everything in there. There's the baby ducks and dogs and cats and boat sports and everything. So yeah, we'll have some more fun stuff coming up too.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome.
And please, if you can, walk or bike. The concern has always been about, parking. So if you're able to stroll on over, that would be wonderful. And also visit the local shops, supplement what you get at the market with some wine, some things at Cookin'. They're very supportive, it's all. And we want to be sure we're benefiting the businesses in the process too. Okay, and next is, the children's parade and picnic. Grace, you want to do?
Sure,
a
yeah.
plug for that?
Yeah, got a really fun kind of events going on. Lots of different food vendors. We're gonna have popcorn and cotton candy, hot dogs, bamboo ties coming out again this year. Is that correct?
Snow cones.
Snow cones again this year. Really, I think one of the really cool things we're doing about it this year is trying to be really green with everything, which I really love. We're really focused on like everything being compostable as much as possible, like reducing trash, emphasizing recycling and compost, and so really trying to do our kind of part in the community and for the environment. We also are going to be doing a lot of the same games that you remember from years prior. So we're going to be doing the sack race. We'll have a tug of war. The watermelon contest will be a thing. We're going to be doing some different tiers of ribbons for the events, and then there's a really fun activity for everybody. We're going to have the big parachute out again. So I don't know if any of you remember that from like elementary school, doing the parachute fun, but we're going to have that out. I feel like adults and kids really love that. The parade route is going to be a little bit different this year. And remind me, we're going to be starting on, is it on the Gilvra? Just around the corner from the
Right.
Starbucks,
Yeah.
essentially. So really pretty close by to where we normally start. It'll be really obvious, but we're going to get started a little bit around the corner and take a slightly different route this year. But hopefully that will help us to sort of mitigate the fact that it's also going to be coinciding with farmer's market. So that's super exciting. There's going to be a lot going on in the neighborhood that weekend and that Saturday for sure. There's going to be some crafts going on, some really fun activities for the kids. I think we've got the hula hoops coming out again. And are we doing the dance again this year? Is DOS confirmed?
I don't know that they're doing the dance.
Okay,
but
we're
we
gonna
do
have
have music.
Live music will be a thing, so it's going to be a really great event. It's done really well in the past, so I feel like everybody's welcome to ride their bikes or a scooter if you want, decorate it, have fun, like I would say even grown-ups if you want to put some streamers on your bike and have some fun again in the parade. I mean, it's for the kids, but let's all have fun. Have we confirmed any parade musicians? Can we talk about that?
I'm still working
Okay.
on that.
Okay, well, I won't then.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I'll pretend I didn't just say that. And is there anything I'm missing? Volunteers, of course. So I'm going to plug for Cecilia. Anybody wants to volunteer? I think the Junior League is going to be a big help for us again this year. They are always a huge supporter of this event. We've got some folks who are going to be helping out at the balloon station. The Red Wagon has generously offered to run the balloon station at the front of the parade, so they'll be handing out balloons for everybody, and they'll be manning that, which is great, but we can always use extra hands. So volunteers, you've got
I've been in talks with some of the businesses, and they're also talking about having a bit of a sidewalk sale, not a huge one that they're gonna do, but there's still gonna be some, like Martha Harris, I know, is doing it, and then a few of the other ones. So also
Awesome.
be
Great
on
to
the
know.
lookout for that. Shop local.
See, I learned something today. But I think that's about it. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fun games, crafts, food, just fun for everybody, free for everybody. Any questions? No? I think that's it. Did I cover it all?
You did.
Awesome, all right.
I think we already did.
Yeah, you've already seen me.
You may have noticed that we have 5 more planters that we have put along the East Madison in the business area. So we got a grant from the Seattle Garden Club, which was wonderful, which helped us continue to add to the planters we have, and we've started planting underneath the trees. You may have seen the bulbs coming up underneath the trees. You may also have seen the new planter that's by the pharmacy, which is also wonderful. So little, inch by inch, I would say yard by yard, we're making progress with making the business district feel a little more lush with greenery. If you've noticed Triangle Park right now, it is just
Beautiful.
It is looking so beautiful with the white roses, and the same people who are helping us with the planters are also now maintaining the Triangle Park, the Jacobsons, Kevin and his daughter Audrey. So if you see them, say hi and thank you, because they come through and water on a regular basis because we can't get a watering system to the planters. So they drag hoses from place to place and water everything. While I have a moment, I also will put in a plug, and you've got a plug too, for helping with work parties in the neighborhood. We, the street and gardens are all volunteer help to do the work parties, and I am involved with Prospect Preserve, which is the one that is at the end of 41st, just behind the Seattle Tennis Club. And I don't know if people remember what it used to be there, but it used to be just nothing but blackberry brambles, and now it's really quite a lovely walk down to the waterfront, and a lot of people do use it now. It's, you're right by the water, so there's lots of horsetail, there's lots of weeds, there's lots of things that we're always trying to get on top of. And I won't grovel and beg, but we could really use some additional volunteer help to maintain it. Once every other month, we get together, and oftentimes it's people who are a little bit older, voila, like me, who are trying to mulch, weed, and do all that. So if anyone knows younger people, again, Boy Scout, Girl Scout, high school, need to get their community service hours in, please have them, they can reach out to me or to Cecilia to see if we can get some help. We have a work party coming up June 21st there.
Now I understand why she put hers ahead of mine. She's got it in boxes and they look so pretty, and I've got this mess out here. We had a get together in April, and we did a lot of work and really cleaned up the gardens, and then put it down some mulch, and that was really great. And then those lovely April showers brought those May weeds, and so we need to get out there and do it again. And I'm so smart, I've really organized this, that on the same day that the farmer's market is opening up, I asked that you come down here, work on your farmer's tan, do a little cleanup with me. We're going to get some more mulch because we want to continue improving the gardens, and then we're actually getting plants that we're going to put in to try to rival her and her boxes. And then at the end, like at the end of the year, we'll do a vote and we'll say which one of the gardeners you guys like the best. So anyhow, a week from Saturday, I would love some help. I will put out some signs and kind of try to recruit some people, but I really appreciate it. And then I'm going to try to kind of look at trying to hook up once a month, just to try to stay on top of it. And then if we can get tamp down the weeds, the other things I want to do is like, when I spoke to the Parks Department, they talked about improving the sight line, which basically means, kind of lower or remove some of the lower branches so people can be under there, but you can also make sure no malfeasance is going on. So we'll do some pruning along those lines, and we can just kind of spruce up the place. So come join me. It's a lot of fun. But it's a lot of fun, and then we'll go to the park, or you go to the thing and pick up tomatoes and stuff at home. So, thank you.
Okay, music in the park.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily. I'm on the Music in the Park committee, and yeah, we are plugging away on getting Music in the Park all lined up for this year. It will be each Thursday in August, starting I believe August 7th. We've in the last couple of weeks got all of our bands finalized and also our sponsors, so we're just working on getting our posters together, and I guess we have the bands are all new this year, a wide range of music types and styles. We put a call out for bands, and we got a lot of people applying, which is really exciting. So some really exciting bands this year. We have one band that has a gal who was on The Voice. That's Eden, the band Eden. And we've got another band, the Carlisle Family Band, which is family members of Brandy Carlisle. So that'll be a fun one. Some other, all just really great bands. So we're really excited.
Will she visit?
She might come to see her. I think it's her nieces and nephews, so who knows? And yeah, I think our call would be for volunteers like everyone else. Our volunteer, I think like day of volunteers is a little lighter work. We just need a couple people to help sit under the tent. We'll have someone asking for donations, and yeah, and it's free, and it's a really fun event. So if you haven't come out before, this will be a great year. Usually we have good weather, knock on wood, but yeah, it's really fun. Just see your neighbors, bring a picnic and enjoy some music.
Cool. Thanks. Party for the park.
Hi, we're having Party for the Park again this year. Woo! It's going to be on September 13th. It's going to be at Broadmoor Golf Club. And we are already getting sponsors interested in partnering with us to host this event. Again, it was so much fun last year. I hope that you will all buy a ticket and come. Tickets will go on sale, I'm thinking probably in July. They're $150 a person. That includes drinks, heavy hors d'oeuvres, courtesy of the golf club, really delicious menu, and we'll have a short program. We'll have silent and live auction, and we'll also have a paddle race. And we're gonna have some live music as well, and some dancing after the program. So it's gonna be a great night. If you'd like to volunteer, please let me know, or actually let Cecilia know. And yeah, if you know anybody who wants to get involved by volunteering, by donating, by sponsoring, if you've hired anybody recently and they think they do a lot of work in Madison Park, you think they might want to give back by supporting our event, please let me know and I will ask them if they'd like to. So yeah, that's it. We're working hard, getting ready. Thanks.
So next on the list is, the bathhouse. We had a wonderful meeting last month, and we had such a good turnout. We had the architects and the landscape architects here with boards, kind of just trying to think about what this could potentially be, what the renovation of the bathhouse could be, what the restoration of the beach could be. They got a lot of good feedback from the community, and they have now taken that and are working on different options, which is really fun to see. But we can't at this point start sharing them because we realize we need to go through the whole process with the city. So we are scheduling what they call a pro view with the Parks Department. We are partnered with the Parks and Rec, and we are now getting ready to schedule for them to see the options. We're talking to their architects, their landscape architects. So we had originally thought that this meeting tonight would be a second round with the architects and the landscape architects, but we decided to pause that so we could go through the pro view process and then really be able to come back with some conceptual ideas of what the renovation could be. Because of the summer, this kind of segues into how are we gonna manage the meetings during the summer. We don't have a meeting scheduled in July. We were doing 2 months on with meetings, 1 month off, 2 months on, and July is scheduled to be our off month. We were going to try and do it in August, but there are a number of people who are gonna be gone. So we have just decided, and this gives them more time to work on the conceptual ideas as well. So we're going to schedule with them to come in September. So September 9th is the date we have tentatively scheduled. That is not the first Tuesday of the month, because the preschool has requested, we are going to switch probably to the second Tuesday of the month for our meeting. So September 9th, and I will be putting this in the newsletter and on our website, but plan on that. September 9th will be our next meeting. We also are hoping to schedule a meeting with Joy Hollingsworth. That was what we were gonna try and do in August, because I'm now shifting to the One Seattle plan. We really wanted her to come and get questions from the community about how we fit in as a neighborhood center. She could have done the August time, but I was gonna be gone. Brendan was gonna be gone, a number of us were gonna be gone, and it was like, well, let's do it when we can be here, because we know a fair bit about the One Seattle plan. Jan, you're learning a lot about the One Seattle plan as well. And so I don't have a date yet for her coming to discuss it, but it will be sometime in September is the goal. Could be in October. What we want to do is be sure she has the feedback from our community before they do the designations of the zoning. We are going to be a neighborhood center. That is a done deal, which is what we already really are, honestly. So we just want to have some input on setbacks on the new One Seattle plan housing, and we want to have some discussion with her about zoning heights, which we have done individually with her walking the neighborhood, but I think it's really going to be helpful for the whole community to be able to ask questions and get her to clarify some of these things and give her our input.
So where is Seattle one right now?
So the One Seattle plan is, what has happened so far is that the city council now has adopted what they call HB 1110, which is the middle housing legislation that was passed by the state legislature. We have adopted that now for the city of Seattle. There was some interim legislation that was proposed by the mayor to make adjustments with the setbacks. There were no setbacks designated in the state legislation. The city wanted to go ahead and make those designations. And those we're going to be reducing, right now we have a 25-foot setback, but they have shrunk that. The city council has already voted to shrink that. But they did not make any designations on zoning heights. And that is really what, as much as anything, is pending. And that is a big impact for our neighborhood. We have walked the neighborhood with Joy. We have walked the neighborhood with the Office of Planning and Community Development to let them know our concerns and areas that didn't seem to us to need to have the height increase so much. So I'm not making this very clear right now, but I will say that we have been giving them input regularly all through this process. And we have also just wanted to be sure that the community knew what was happening. That's really been our role. There are some neighborhoods that have been lobbying. We cannot do that as the Friends of Madison Park because we are a 501c3. And we aren't allowed to do that as a nonprofit, but what we can do and are really trying to do is being sure that the whole community has information about what has been happening. We have on our website one area that is dedicated to the One Seattle plan, and we'll continue to update that.
One other quick question, what about the parking? Was that included?
Parking
with the
has-
city council?
No. They
No.
really were, parking is something that is part of the One Seattle plan, but not part of the middle housing legislation. So again, I think those are all valid things for us to discuss with her. They're not so much the driving force on how things are zoned. Every neighborhood is concerned about the parking. Every neighborhood is concerned about the drinking. So it is, and as are we. But I do feel like that we have their ear now on what we want. Filing the appeal on the environmental impact statement actually got the mayor's office to pay attention to this as well. So. Okay, well, I would say really what I would ask you to do is look for the newsletters, look at the website. We'll let you know the dates of when the next meetings are gonna be, but at this point, our next meeting will be not this summer, we won't have another meeting this summer, but we'll start back in earnest in September. And September 9th will be the first meeting, but I will continue to put out a newsletter every two to 3 weeks so that we're, apprised of what's going on with the One Seattle plan and events that are coming up. And I mean, we've got a lot of fun things going on this summer, which just feels wonderful. So the farmers market, I feel like it's going to be a huge success. The garden tour, the children's parade, music in the park. There's just so much going on. So, all right. I think we're adjourned.